In the untamed world, the great cats are raw, power-made flesh. When these titans collide, a single mistake is fatal. Victory isn't merely about strength. It's about the patient, the calculating, the one who strikes at the perfect moment. Welcome to the realm of the great cats, where every encounter could be the last. In a harsh land of relentless heat, where life itself is a constant battle, the lion survives not by strength alone, but by order. They are the only great cats to form a pride, a miniature society forged in power, loyalty, and conflict. A pride is typically ruled by a dominant male. His presence is more than a defense of territory. It is a symbol of absolute power. In the world of lions, power is forged in strength and the will to impose order. Every pride exists on a razor's edge, a fragile balance between dominance and submission. While the alpha remains strong, order holds. Every member knows their place. But when the king ages, his reflexes dull, and threats begin to circle. Challengers watch from the shadows, waiting for the precise moment the ruler can no longer defend his throne. It is the timeless law, repeating through the history of every pride. Confrontation is inevitable. It begins with displays of intimidation, but when neither backs down, the battle ignites. This isn't a fight of hatred, but of survival, a war for the very soul of the pride. The mating season fuels the fire of conflict. Males clash for the right to mate, for only the dominant can pass on his legacy. For a lion, siring the next generation is not just instinct. It is the ultimate mark of power and succession. When food becomes scarce, the pride's bonds begin to fray. Hunger gnaws at every individual, shattering their unity. Fights erupt over scraps of food, even among those who once hunted as one. In these desperate times, only one law remains: might is right. Yet, through conflict and loss, the pride endures. The weak are culled, and the strong rise to take their place. It is brutal, it is merciless, but it preserves the balance necessary for the pride's long-term survival. In the animal kingdom, only the strongest and most adaptable survive. Order is not born from compromise, but forged in relentless conflict, where power must be proven again and again. In the heart of Africa, lions and leopards walk the same ground, but their coexistence is a cold war of survival. Lions are the masters of the pride, hunting in formidable packs. The leopard is a solitary shadow. This fundamental difference in strength and strategy stacks the odds against the leopard in every encounter. When hunted, a leopard can explode to speeds of 31 to 37 miles per hour in a desperate, short-lived sprint. This raw speed is its lifeline, allowing it to create distance and seek refuge by scaling a tree, a vertical escape route where the heavier lions falter. But if a pride manages to corner it, the leopard's chances of survival evaporate. Outnumbered and outmatched, it stands no chance against the collective might of a lion pride. Its only move is to flee. In this unforgiving world, the leopard survives on a razor's edge of caution, speed, and evasion. Confronting a lion is not an option. It's a death sentence where retreat is the only pardon. The leopard, a solitary hunter, reigning over its own vast domain. Conflict ignites when these invisible boundaries are breached. A brutal clash, especially between rival males. The breeding season fuels this fire, escalating the competition for females. When warnings are ignored, dominion is decided by tooth and claw. The outcome is absolute. One victor claims the territory, while the loser is cast out, forced to find a new life. This is not senseless violence, but a primal law of the wild, a fierce mechanism that maintains order and ensures survival. Tigers are solitary predators, each a sovereign ruler of its own domain. They do not live in prides, but seize vast territories for themselves. This territorial imperative makes tiger-on-tiger confrontations exceptionally tense and perilous. An adult tiger is a powerhouse of muscle, weighing anywhere from 265 to over 660 pounds, stretching more than 10 feet from nose to tail, and standing over 3 feet tall at the shoulder. Their physique is built for combat. Tigers are fiercely territorial, marking their domains with scent, deep claw marks, and thunderous roars. Trespassing is a direct trigger for conflict, especially between rival males. These brutal clashes erupt for 3 primary reasons: the fight for territory, the battle for mates, and competition over food. However, when neither predator backs down, the battle becomes a fight to the death. The victor claims the territory. The loser is forced to leave. Lions and tigers, 2 apex predators, kings of their domains. In the wild, their paths rarely cross, for they rule separate realms. But when territories collide, or man forces them together, a clash of titans becomes inevitable. The conflict is born from a primal instinct. 2 apex hunters, each refusing to bow to another sovereign. In a one-on-one duel, the tiger often holds the edge, its superior size and decisive, brutal combat style making it a formidable force. Yet, the lion commands a different advantage: a lifetime of social warfare and the strategic power of a coordinated pride. Ultimately, the victor isn't decided by species alone. Tigers and leopards stalk the same Asian landscapes. Yet, a direct confrontation is a rare, terrifying event. Conflict ignites over territory or food, especially when hunger stalks the land and prey is scarce. Forced into a confrontation, the tiger holds the upper hand. The leopard's life depends on cunning and a perfectly timed escape.
The lion, ruler of the savanna. Here, power is not given. It must be claimed and defended. Every stretch of land bears the mark of conflict, where strength determines who remains. Welcome to the world of the king of the savanna, where power is protected by strength. The lion stands as one of the wild's most iconic predators. A mature male tops 3 feet at the shoulder, weighing in at 330 to over 440 pounds of raw muscle. The lioness is lighter, but built for agility and endurance. In the crucial moment, it can unleash a burst of speed reaching nearly 50 miles per hour. This isn't about stamina. It's about ending the fight in a heartbeat. In the wilds of Africa, lions and African wild dogs are two powers locked on a collision course. Their war is not born of personal hatred, but of a shared appetite for survival. Both hunt the same prey, tipping the very balance of the ecosystem. The wild dogs thrive on the power of the pack, a storm of endurance and seamless coordination, making them a silent, formidable rival to the lion. In contrast, the lion is the embodiment of absolute, individual might. Its sheer size and regal presence enforce its rule, a dominance that wild dogs rarely dare to challenge head-on. Yet this very clash of strategies keeps their conflict perpetually simmering just below the surface. So when an opportunity strikes, the lion does not hesitate, especially against a young, untested pack. This is no impulsive act. It is a cold, calculated instinct to extinguish a future threat before it can ever truly rise. In the savage world, clashes between lions and hyenas are never just about a meal. It is a collision of conflicting interests, where food is the most obvious prize, but never the only reason. For a lion, control is not merely about protecting a kill, but about upholding an ancient order. To allow a rival to dominate is to invite future conflicts that will spiral out of control. Thus, when challenged, the lion unleashes its majesty and might to enforce the line. But hyenas play a different game. They seek not to rule, but to endure. Every contest is a calculated risk, a game of numbers and relentless, grinding pressure. When a lion is isolated, its customary dominance fades. The aura of majesty remains, but it's no longer enough to command order. And in those moments, the balance of power becomes more fragile than ever. For a lion, the greatest threat isn't another species, but its own kind. They live by a rigid hierarchy, where every position is tied to the right to feed, the right to breed, and the right to rule. When this order is maintained, the pride is stable, but the moment the top position is challenged, the balance shatters. The air shifts, wary glances are exchanged. A grown male will not stand aside when he senses an opportunity. To him, the throne isn't just a title. It's the key to survival and the continuation of his bloodline. When power is threatened, combat becomes inevitable. These showdowns are not born from a flash of anger, but from cold, drawn-out calculation. The stronger, more relentless fighter wins. The victor keeps the territory, the pride, and the right to breed. The loser is forced into exile, facing peril and often death. Among apex predators, the relationship between lions and leopards is one of brutal imbalance. Lions represent the raw power of the pride. When they appear, the entire dynamic of the territory shifts, forcing other hunters to fall back. The leopard understands this implicitly. It does not seek direct confrontation, opting instead for strategic avoidance and timely retreat. This is not weakness, but a survival instinct forged across generations. But paths inevitably cross. When territories overlap or kills are contested, the leopard is thrust into a vulnerable position. Against the coordinated might of a lion pride, a lone hunter's skill becomes irrelevant. In these moments, the leopard can lose territory, its meal, and sometimes its very life. In the contest between lion and cheetah, the balance of power is a foregone conclusion. The lion is the embodiment of absolute might. Its colossal frame, immense stamina, and the strength of the pride allow it to command the landscape with its mere presence. The cheetah walks another path entirely. It is built for blistering speed, not brutal confrontation. Its sleek frame and explosive acceleration let it strike down prey in a heartbeat. But this same design leaves it fragile before larger predators. When confronted by a lion, the cheetah's options vanish. It yields, prepared to abandon its kill in an instant. This isn't weakness. It is the cardinal rule of the wild. Survival always trumps victory. For a lion, the wildebeest is a vital prize. A single kill, with its massive frame and abundance of flesh, can feast a pride for days, fueling its power and its reign over the territory. But this is no easy quarry. With formidable stamina, sharp reflexes, and the fury to fight back when cornered, every hunt is a life or death gamble. On the move, the herd is a unified, thundering fortress, nearly impossible to breach. This is why the lion hunts with strategy. It stalks in utter silence, anticipating a single error, its eyes locked on the out of step, the isolated. When the moment fractures open, the ambush is a lightning strike, swift and absolute, before the herd can turn and unleash its crushing weight. To the lion, the zebra is not just prey. It is a disciplined, organized force. Their powerful bodies, deep stamina, and lightning reflexes allow them to hold a tight, defensive formation. A wall of stripes nearly impossible to breach. The lion knows this. It wastes no energy on pointless chases. Instead, it waits patiently for the perfect moment to strike. A zebra hunt is not a game of speed. It is a game of mistakes. Hunting alone, the lion targets the vulnerable, the young, easily separated and quick to falter. The goal is a swift, clean kill, minimizing risk. But when the pride hunts, the strategy shifts entirely. They become a coordinated unit, applying pressure to shatter the formation, forcing one inexperienced animal into terrifying isolation. In these pack hunts, the adolescent zebra is the perfect target. Strong, but not yet wise enough to hold its place in the chaos. In the heart of the wild, where every moment is a trial for survival, the hyena emerges as a master tactician. They are the embodiment of patience and deadly calculation, a name that strikes fear in their rivals. Welcome to a journey into the world of the hyena, the savanna's tenacious and strategic predator. Lions and hyenas, two predators representing starkly different paths to survival. The lion relies on individual strength, authority, and overwhelming power. The hyena, in contrast, survives through the pack, relentless endurance, and opportunistic cunning. Despite their numerical advantage, hyenas never underestimate a lion. They know their limits. Although disadvantaged when alone, a lion can rely on the timely support of its pride. For the hyenas, this is more than stealing a meal. It's a long-term strategy to weaken a rival in the ongoing war for survival. These confrontations often erupt over a carcass, a prize valuable enough to force both sides to risk everything. Hyenas are masters of opportunity, willing to gamble and push the boundaries of a stronger foe to claim their share. But nature, in its cold way, is always just. Against the lion's crushing force, all strategy is meaningless. A single miscalculation is enough to seal its fate. On the savanna, hyenas clash with leopards and cheetahs in a war over prey. This is a collision between solitary hunters and a species that thrives on the power of the pack. When the prize is great enough, all lines are crossed. The leopard boasts a powerful physique and razor-sharp fangs, enough to fell its quarry and defend the prize. Confronted by the relentless pressure of a patient hyena clan, even this formidable predator struggles to maintain control of its reward. The cheetah is legendary for its blistering speed, But that edge is fleeting, lasting only for the chase. In its aftermath, exhaustion leaves the sprinter fragile. This is the precise moment hyenas exploit. They swarm, applying suffocating pressure, forcing the cheetah to surrender its hard-won meal simply to survive. In the African wilds, beyond the lion, the hyena faces another lethal adversary, the wild dog. It is a contest between two species, both staking their survival on the power of the pack. When food grows scarce, a violent collision becomes inevitable. Just as tensions reach their peak, the lion appears, shattering the existing order. Caught off guard, the wild dogs lose their focus, creating an opening for the hyenas to escape. The hyena clan also commands strength in numbers, but this advantage shatters the moment the clan is fractured. But isolate one, and its solitary power is no match for the relentless, unified assault of the wild dogs. Here, the deciding factor isn't brute force, but strategy and solidarity. In the wild, survival hinges not on individual might, but on one's unbreakable place within the pack. Gnawing hunger drives the hyenas onward. The hunt never ends. Only the risks escalate. Ahead lies the Cape buffalo, an adult tipping the scales at 1,300 to over 2,000 pounds. Its colossal frame and high-alert defensive instincts make it a lethal adversary. A direct assault is unthinkable. Hyenas do not seek a reckless gamble. They wait for an opportunity, a calf without a solid ring of protection. A vulnerable prey that demands little effort to chase becomes a valuable opportunity. For a hyena, survival isn't always about a victorious hunt. Sometimes, it's simply about seizing any chance to live another day. When food grows scarce, the hyena must hunt a dangerous quarry, the antelope, a large beast armed with deadly, sharp horns. Though the risk is immense, survival demands a reckless gamble. To minimize the danger and maximize the reward, their focus shifts to the young. Weaker and with no experience against a predator, the calves become the most accessible targets. When the plan works, the prize is a meal large enough to sustain the hyena through several of nature's cruelest days. But not every hunt leads to a successful result. In the wild, hyenas are masterful predators. Their power isn't in individual might, but in meticulously calculated pack tactics, a strategy that rarely falters. This tight-knit coordination ensures they always hold a distinct advantage. When an injured zebra is spotted, the scales tip instantly in the predator's favor. An unsteady gait, a faltering pace, these are unmistakable signals of opportunity. They weaponize their stamina, draining their quarry's energy until it is utterly exhausted and can no longer run. The hyena's silhouette is unmistakable, shoulders towering over its hips in a menacing, forward-leaning stance that screams imminent threat. Its coat is short and coarse, a canvas of brown or gray splashed with dark spots and streaks, perfect camouflage for the unforgiving savanna. But its most terrifying weapon is the jaw. This is one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom, capable of pulverizing bone in a single devastating instant, weighing in at a formidable 88 to 176 pounds and hitting speeds of nearly 37 miles per hour. This is no lumbering scavenger. Piercing eyes and an exceptionally acute sense of smell allow it to pinpoint prey in the pitch black of night. The eagle, an embodiment of raw power and absolute precision. With vision that can detect the slightest movement from hundreds of meters away, it commands the skies through patience and cold calculation. Welcome to the world of the eagle, where the sky is the dominion and every moment is a test of survival. The king of the sky begins the hunt. After days of burning energy, the eagle needs a substantial prize to maintain its strength. Below, the sheer cliffs are the domain of adult mountain goats, weighing from 130 to over 260 pounds. They move with caution, knowing every ledge and every escape route. Against an experienced target, the risk to the hunter is immense. Failure is always a possibility. On the high cliffs, every attempt borders on peril. Therefore, the eagle relies not just on its powerful wingspan, but on strategy and timing. If the attempt fails, it will wait. A more viable target is often a young kid, lighter, and with no defensive experience. A successful hunt can provide enough energy to sustain it for days. Among the treacherous cliffs, victory belongs to the one who has patience and chooses the perfect moment. Between the earth and sky, a tense balance holds. The fox and the eagle, predators from two separate worlds, yet forced to share the same ground. The fox relies on sharp hearing and explosive reflexes up close. The eagle commands superior vision, detecting the slightest stir from hundreds of meters above. Both are master hunters, and neither will back down when survival is on the line. The advantage shifts only when one claims total dominance, through height, position, or the element of surprise. This is why the eagle often targets the young, minimizing the risk from a fierce defense. A successful hunt can deliver thousands of kilocalories, enough energy to sustain it for days when resources are scarce. Sometimes even the eagle is thwarted, not from a lack of power, but by the target's swift and decisive response. In this world, victory doesn't just belong to the stronger. It belongs to the one who seizes the moment. For the coyote, a meal is more than sustenance. It is the key to surviving the harshest days. Smaller than other predators, it must seize every opportunity, every ounce of energy, to fuel its metabolism and defend its territory. In the sky, the eagle is a symbol of dominance. Unmatched vision and aerial mastery grant it rule over the air. But when the sky meets the earth, the balance of power begins to shift. Where energy is concentrated, a fresh carcass, vulnerable prey, a rich hunting ground. These two predators will inevitably meet. It is not coincidence. It is the law of ecology. Where resources gather, conflict is born. The coyote will not surrender a valuable prize easily. Its sharp hearing and keen sense of smell constantly scan the environment. In this tense standoff, the advantage is not in wings or talons. It is in the ability to read the moment and react. The ground squirrel. Depending on the species, it weighs from 1 to over 2 pounds. It stands tall, a living periscope scanning for danger. This stance reveals threats from the ground, but it also makes them a target from the sky. With superior vision, the eagle spots the slightest twitch in the grass below. But the ground squirrel is sharp. In a heartbeat, it bolts for the nearest burrow. In this world, the outcome is decided by who sees first and who reacts faster. In the sky, the eagle is a symbol of power. Every circle is a claim to its domain. If threatened, it will rise to defend its throne. But hunger is the true commander. When energy fades, the eagle targets smaller birds. A low-risk prize, easily controlled, and an efficient hunt. The nourishment is not great, but it is enough to endure. When food grows scarce, eggs and the young become the alternative. Rich in protein and taken with minimal effort. Its superior vision spots a target from an incredible distance. When the moment is right, precision is everything. And every successful takedown provides more than just sustenance. It is a statement of dominance to all others that share the sky. Food, the flashpoint for nearly every conflict. Where energy is concentrated, competition ignites. Among eagles, clashes erupt over control of the resource. In the language of ecology, this is intraspecific competition. When limited resources force a predator to assert its dominance, no compromise, no backing down. Because to survive, a predator must not only be an expert hunter, it must also eliminate the competition. With the eagle, Every wing beat is a precise calculation. Diving, it can break 90 miles per hour, seizing a decisive advantage in a fleeting instant. But speed is only part of the equation. Precision defines success, conserving energy, avoiding unnecessary risk. A single young fawn can provide tens of thousands of kilocalories. Enough protein and fat to restore muscle and fuel its metabolism for days. A kangaroo can weigh anywhere from 45 to over 200 pounds. Next to an eagle, the size disparity is staggering. One commands the sky, the other wields powerful legs and a formidable defense. When familiar prey disappears, the eagle is forced to make a choice. Hunting a kangaroo is a high-stakes gamble. This is no easy target. Failure is a real possibility, but every attempt forges experience. In nature, adaptation is built not just from success, but from the moments that don't end in triumph. The rabbit is pure instinct, an animal engineered for the escape. Powerful legs deliver explosive speed. A small, efficient brain calculates every unpredictable turn. When the assault comes, it can launch itself nearly 3 feet into the air, executing hairpin turns to shatter a predator's path. The eagle, with its supreme vision, locking on from the sky. The rabbit's chances are fragile. The eagle needs no lengthy chase. Precision optimizes every ounce of energy. A successful strike delivers the protein and fat needed to justify days of searching. In this confrontation, the rabbit relies on speed and instinct. The predator on calculation, a single moment that determines everything. The eagle is more than a predator of the sky. It is a keystone in the architecture of life. By keeping prey populations in check, it upholds a critical balance. The weak, the unwary, they are removed, a testament to natural selection. Even as a scavenger, it fuels the ecosystem's cycle of renewal. Its very presence signals a thriving wilderness. From above, it does not simply soar. It ensures the rhythm of the wild beats on. Thank you for watching to the end. If you found this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for our next episode.